Hello students, in this video we are going to discuss question number 41 to 60 of isomerism from Advanced Problems in Organic Chemistry for JEE by MS1 book. In question number 41, among the structure shown below, which was lowest potential energy, as we know that between the chair form and the boat form is unstable and chair form is stable. More the stability, lesser will be the potential energy. That's why in boat structure we have more potential energy, and in chair form we have less potential energy. So A and B are in chair form. Now as we know that more number of functional group present in equatorial position, more will be the stability, because if functional groups are present in axial position, it will cause for 1,3 diaxial interaction. So in B we have one methyl group present in axial position, which will cause of 1,3 diaxial interaction. So that is more unstable. Between A and B, A is more stable conformation. That's why between A and B, A will have low potential energy or lowest potential energy among of these four. That's why in question number 41, option A should be the correct option. In question number 42, which of the following molecule are chiral? So if sigma symmetry or asymmetry is absent in a molecule, that is plane of symmetry or inversion point of symmetry is absent in a molecule, the molecule is going to be optically active and it will be chiral. So in molecule 1 we don't have any sigma or any I. So sigma absent, I absent. So this is optically active molecule and it is a chiral molecule. In molecule 2 again we don't have any sigma or any I. That's why it is a optically active molecule or chiral molecule. In third molecule we have a Fischer projection. As we know that in Fischer projection we can do this operation. There is no harm in doing this kind of exchange because it will remain in the same RS configuration. On optical activity there is no change. So we can have a sigma plane of symmetry present in this molecule. They are identical molecule. So if sigma is present, the molecule will be optically inactive and it will become achiral in nature. So 1 and 2, these two molecules are optically active or chiral molecule. That's why for question number 42, option D should be the correct option. In question number 23, a compound has synthesized by a student but its structure was not identified. However, his wonderfully helpful instructor told him that it was a mesocompound. So what is the definition of mesocompound? If chiral center as well as sigma symmetry is present in the molecule, then the molecule will be a mesocompound with 5 carbons and 2 stereogenic center. What is the definition of stereogenic center? If the center can show stereochemistry or stereoisomers, then it is a stereogenic center. It may be a chiral center or it can show the geometric center also. So two stereogenic centers. Which of the following structures should be considered as possibilities of the compound? Okay, so in molecule 1 we have 2 chiral centers, okay, and we can have a sigma symmetry here. So the molecule 1 is the best fit with the informations given. So molecule 1 is a mesomolecule. It can be a mesomolecule as well as it can show the stereoisomers as it has 2 stereogenic centers. In the second molecule we have again 2 stereogenic centers and we can draw a sigma symmetry if we exchange these two positions, because in stereogenic centers we can exchange the positions. So we can draw a plane of symmetry in this position also. Okay, so in option 2 we also have meso compound with 2 stereogenic centers. In option 3 we can't draw any sigma plane or any point of symmetry is also not present. That's why it can't be a meso compound. Option 4 again we can draw a plane of symmetry and we have 2 chiral centers, so it can be a meso compound also. So for question number 43 we have already molecule 1, molecule 2 and molecule 4. In the fifth molecule, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons, but we don't have any chiral center is it. If chiral centers are absent, it cannot show any optical activity. Okay, so meso compounds are only possible when chiral center as well as sigma symmetry is present. In molecule 5, we don't have any chiral center, but sigma symmetry is present here, so it can't be a meso compound. So 1, 4, and 2 are the molecules which is going to be the option for this question. That's why in question number 43, option A should be the correct option. In question number 44, how many isomers are possible for the following molecule? See, it is not a chiral center. Why? Because these two functional groups are identical. So we can't have any optical isomerism from this position. This double bond cannot show geometrical isomerism. Why? Because these two functional groups are identical. As we know that if two functional groups are identical with a CsP2 carbon, that's why it cannot show any geometrical isomerism. Only possible geometrical isomerism is from this position. So we can have a cis as well as a trans molecule from this geometric center. Okay, so you can think about option 2, but option 4 is the correct option. Why? Because we cannot have a sigma symmetry or any I symmetry or any SN symmetry in this molecule. So the molecule is optically active. So this cis molecule is optically active. That's why there should be an enantiomer present for this cis molecule. Okay, cis plus its enantiomer. Similarly, for this trans molecule also we don't have any symmetry, I symmetry, sigma symmetry or SN symmetry. That's why with this molecule we must have its enantiomer. Okay, so finally we have total 4 molecules. So for question number 44, option D should be the correct option. In question number 45, which of the following molecules are chiral? Okay, so we have to find the sigma symmetry or I symmetry or SN symmetry in this molecule. So in question number 45, in molecule 1 we don't have any sigma or any I, so sigma and I absent, so it is optically active. This is chiral molecule. In second molecule, again we don't have any sigma or I. Okay, this is optically active as well as this is a chiral molecule. Okay, in third molecule we don't have any sigma or I, optically active or chiral molecule. In option 4 also, or molecule 4 also, we don't have any sigma or any I, so this is also a chiral molecule. So 1, 2, 3, 4, all of them are chiral. So option A should be the correct option for question number 45. In question number 46, which equilibrium is not rapid at room temperature? Okay, so thing is that if the product is unstable in nature, the equilibrium cannot be a rapid. Okay, so for molecule A we have two functional group present in equatorial position, where in product we have two functional group present in axial position. So product is much unstable compared to the reagent, so the equilibrium is not rapid. In C we have two methyl group present in the same situation. This is a perfect eclipse position. So in this case the product is much more unstable, because here we have eclipse position, but this is not a perfect eclipse, it is a partial eclipse position. So in perfect and partial eclipse position, perfect or fully eclipsed is more unstable situation. That's why in molecule C the product is unstable, so the equilibrium is not rapid. In D we have chair form and boat form. As we know that chair form is much more stable than boat form, again the product is unstable. So in A product is unstable, in C product is unstable, in D product is unstable compared to the reagent. In molecule B there is as such no difference stability between these molecules. They are geometrical isomers obviously, but there is no as such difference in their stability. That's why this can be a rapid equilibrium in the room temperature. Okay, so if not rapid is in the question, then option A, C, D should be the correct option. Okay, so it's not a single option correct question, because they have asked which equilibrium is not rapid. So in this case 1, 3 and one A, C and D should be the correct option, because these equilibriums are not rapid, because product is unstable compared to the reagent. So the whole molecule will sit towards the reagent only. There is not equilibrium as such present. In molecule in question number 47, which is the lowest energy conformation of butane? See, if the static hindrance is minimum, it's going to be the maximum stability or minimum potential energy. Okay, so lowest energy means minimum potential energy. So it is an anti position in the Newman projection, where all the functional groups are present in the anti position and the maximum distance is present between the two static methyl groups. So in question number 47, option C should be the correct option. In question number 48, which of the structure given below are chiral? So again, we have to find the symmetry here. So in the first molecule, we have sigma symmetry present in the molecule like this. So it's a achiral molecule. Now in second molecule, we don't have any sigma, we don't have any I. So it's a chiral molecule. Again in third molecule, we don't have any sigma or I. Again it's a chiral molecule. In 4 we have sigma symmetry present, it's a chiral molecule. In 5 we don't have any sigma or I, it's a chiral molecule. So 2, 3, 5, these 3 molecules are chiral. So for question number 48, option B is the correct option. In question number 41, which of the following carboxylic acids could be resolved by reaction with an enantiomerically pure chiral amine? So this phrase indicates we have to find a molecule which is optically active. Okay, so in this molecule I is present, so this is optically inactive. In this molecule I is present, again this is optically inactive. In this molecule sigma symmetry is present, in this molecule I present, in this molecule I present, in this molecule sigma symmetry is present, so this is optically inactive. The 3 of them are optically inactive, but we have to find optically active situation. Okay, so in this case we don't have any I or any sigma present in the molecule. This is a biphenyl system. We can explain this system in a defined video lecture. So this is optically active system, so we have to find the optically active system. That's why for question number 49, option C should be the correct option. In question number 50, what is the relationship between these two molecules? Okay, so if we do an IPR in plane rotation 180 degree, there is no harm with the Fisher projection. But if we do this, we can have this kind of situation: CH2OH, HOH, HH, CHO, OH, OH, H, OH. Okay, so if we rotate this molecule 180 degree in plane rotation, we can have this molecule. So they are perfectly fit or superimposable to each other. So there is mirror image relationship. There is no mirror image relationship as such, but if we rotate this molecule, we can have a perfectly fit situation. And 180 degree one in plane rotation is don't have any impact in the Fisher position, so that's why they are identical molecules. So option C should be the correct option. In question number 51, what are the correct designation for the structure below? So in this case we have cis trans, we can have cis trans isomerism, but we have two same functional group present in this position. So cis trans or EZ nomenclature is not possible for this position. Okay, it can't be a chiral center because we don't have two different functional groups here. So there is no cis trans or EZ nomenclature possible as such in this molecule. So no geometrical isomers are possible is the correct answer. So for question number 51, option D should be the correct option. In question number 52, which of the following molecule is chiral? So if we see the molecule 1, we have I-symmetry present in this molecule, inversion point of symmetry. So this is optically inactive or achiral molecule. In this case we don't have any sigma or I, so this is optically active molecule. In this molecule we don't have again any sigma or I present, so this is optically active. No sigma or no I present, sigma absent, I absent, so this is again optically active molecule. So already we have 2 optically active, 3 optically active, 4 optically active. In 5 we have sigma symmetry present. Okay, So if we take this as a plane, we can divide this molecule by two halves. So this is a sigma plane of symmetry. So this will make optically inactive fifth molecule. So 2, 3, 4 are optically active. So for question number 52, option D should be the correct option. In question number 53, which one of the following isomeric structure has lowest energy level? So we should go for the cyclohexane form, cyclohexane chair form rather than, for compare the stability. And if we look all the molecule, for molecule E, we can draw this kind of situation where two methyl groups are present in equatorial position and they are trans to each other. Okay, so in this case only we have two methyl which are present in equatorial position and at the maximum distance. So steric hindrance cannot be present between two methyl group present in this molecule. So this is only possible for option C. So as you know that we have to place most number of functional group in the equatorial position rather than axial position to avoid the 1,3 diaxial interaction. And in this case, two methyl groups are present. Not only these two methyl groups are present at axial position, equatorial position, they are at the furthest possible position. That's why the steric hindrance is minimum or not present at all in this case. That's why option E should be the correct option because it has the lowest energy. So for question number 53, option E should be the correct option. In question number 54, the following compounds are identical with respect to, so they are diastereomer. Okay, so diastereomers have different boiling point, melting point, IPSNM. Only the molecular composition is same. So that's why question number 54, option A should be the correct option. In question number 55, among the molecule the most stable isomer is, so this is also an application of cyclohexane. As we know that in cyclohexane form, if the functional groups are present in the equatorial position, it may have stability. If it is present in axial position, there will be some 1,3 diaxial interaction, due to which we have 1,3 diaxial interaction and it will become more unstable compared to the functional group present in equatorial position. But in this case another thing is happened, that is hydrogen bonding. So in this case we have hydrogen bonding present in maximum extent in molecule D. So we have a hydrogen bonding present here. As we know that hydrogen bonding is more stabilizing factor, and if we compare the hydrogen bonding and 1,3 diaxial interaction, we simply compare these two because hydrogen bonding will proceed over 1,3 diaxial interaction. So for question number 55, option D should be the correct option because hydrogen bonding is present in this part. In question number 56, the most stable conformation for the following compound is, we have to make cyclohexane form. As we know that we have tertiary butyl group and methyl group present here, we have to place the tertiary butyl group in one of its equatorial bond because equatorial position is the more stabilizing position, because in this position we cannot have 1,3 diaxial interaction. So first of all we have to place the tertiary butyl in the equatorial position, and if we see in this 1,4 position, methyl group present in the similar side to the tertiary butyl. So methyl, if this position is above the plane, in this position also we have methyl in the above the plane, but in this 3 position we have methyl in the below the plane. So this should be the case because we have to maintain the proper geometry of the cyclohexane also. So if you go for the geometry of the cyclohexane, you can think why these methyls are anti to each other and what are the positions for the methyl. We have discussed this in the video lectures. So for question number 56, option C should be the correct option. In question number 57, which of the following molecule have non-zero dipole moment? So we should go for the structures in this case, otherwise it is very difficult to explain. The Gauss conformation of 1,2-dibromoethane will look like this. In Gauss conformer we have two bromine present in this position, so obviously we have two dipole moments present here, so this will give a non-zero dipole moment. Okay, so Gauss conformation of 1,2 dibromoethane, obviously it will give a non-zero dipole moment. Anti-conformation of 1,2 dibromoethane will look like this. We have bromine, we have bromine. Obviously these two dipole will cancel each other and it will give a zero dipole moment. Trans 1,4 dibromocyclohexane. So 1,4 dibromo trans-cyclohexane will look like this. This bromine is present here, this bromine is present here. Again these two will cancel each other. Okay, so it will give again a zero dipole moment. Tetrabromomethane, again this will give a zero dipole moment because all of the net factor of the dipole moment will become zero. So non-zero dipole moment is possible for molecule 1, 3 and 4. Okay, sorry, 1, 3 and 5. 1, 3 and 5. Okay, so we have to find for non-zero dipole moment, sorry. Non-zero dipole moment is possible for molecule 1. This is zero dipole moment. This is again trans zero dipole moment. This is zero dipole moment. In 1,1 dibromocyclohexane, we have again this kind of situation. Bromine, bromine. So again these two dipole moments will cancel each other. So it will become a zero dipole moment. Cis 1,4 dibromocyclohexane. This is a cis form. Okay. So in cis form we have two bromine present in the same site, so there is no cancellation of the net dipole moment, so it will give a non-zero dipole moment. Okay, so option, the molecule 1 and molecule 4, these two molecules will give non-zero dipole moment. So for question number 57, option B should be the correct option. In question number 58, what is the maximum number of stereoisomers possible for the for this molecule? So we have chiral center 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and we have two geometric centers also, that is 14 and 15. Okay, so for optical we have total 13 centers, the 2 to the power 13, and for geometrical again we have 2 centers. Okay, so overall we have 2 to the power 15. Total this number of isomers are possible, stereoisomers are possible. So for question number 58, option B should be the correct option. In question number 59, a solution containing compound A and B shows optical activity, and A and B are stereoisomers. Which are the possibilities cannot be correct? Okay, A has 2 chiral centers, B does not have any. So if we think about this kind of situation, HBr, CHC, this is a meso compound, so optical activity is 0. This is optically inactive. But for the similar composition, we can have 2 chiral centers. Okay, so this is a non-meso molecule, or it is an optically active molecule. So A has 2 chiral centers. Okay, so we can have a thing like this, and we can draw another thing with the same composition, that is AA, that is HHBrBrCl. So this is also a case where we don't have any chiral center. So A have 2 chiral centers, it can be the molecule A. B does not have any because of the plane of symmetry. So this is not a correct one. Why? Because we have chiral centers present, but if sigma symmetry is present, then it will become a meso and it will become optically inactive. B does not have any because it has a symmetry plane. This is not a correct line or correct statement. Okay, so chiral center does not have anything with optical activity or sigma plane of symmetry. Okay, A has 2 chiral centers, it is optically active, that is fine, and B does not have any chiral center. This is not correct. B also have chiral centers, but due to the presence of sigma symmetry, it is optically inactive. Okay, so in question number 59, the lines are not correctly given in the solution, so there is some mistake in question number 59. Okay, in question number 60, this is a very interesting question which we can solve elaborately. Okay, we will make this carbon as 1, this carbon as 2, this carbon as 4. Okay, now we can go for the detailed composition. For the first molecule, we can have hydrogen, methyl, one alkyl group, that is R1, another alkyl group, that is R2. Now if we go for the RS nomenclature priority order, it will become D, it will become C, it will become A, it will become B. So this is for center 1. Okay, now if we draw the Fisher projection, it will become this one, and finally it indicates S configuration. So for 1 we have S configuration. Now for the second carbon, if we draw elaborately, the situation will look like this. We have hydrogen present here, we have methyl present here, we have two alkyl groups present here. This is R1, this is R2. Now thing is that we can draw, or we can go for the priority order. It will become D, it is C, this is A, this is B. We can draw the Fisher projection which will look like this: A, D, B, C. Now A to B, B to C, C to A rotation, and presence of the D in the vertical position will make this position S. So for the second carbon also we have S configuration. In the fourth situation again we have one hydrogen present in this position. So if we go for the elaborate structure, we can have hydrogen, methyl, above the plane one alkyl group and below the plane another alkyl group, and if we go for the priority order, it will become D, C, A and B. Again if we draw the Fisher projection, it will look like this: C, A, D, B, and it will give R configuration for fourth position also. So if we go for 1s, 2s and 4R trimethyl cyclohexane, option A should be the correct option. Thank you for watching.